Well, we're trying to come out and start doing some work on the bus. It's snowing. It is just a rainy, yucky mess. We're still gonna try and get something done though. It's been hard to get going. I don't know, taking that month off to go to Texas is kind of taking its toll, but I got to get some tools put away because, it's been poopy. What's up, guys? So here's where we're at. We've had to create a filler piece for above this stud to give something to nail the trim to, because again, going with walls, stupid thin, and I've got a pretty good gap right here I got to fill, which I wasn't worried about. The trim is more than adequate, but there's really nothing to nail it to with this this thin wall because the header goes straight across, and I kind of knew I was going to run into this. My first option was to make the header that, but just to get this wall up, I went with a flat one. I kind of knew we were going to have to do something like this, but it's not too terrible with the bandsaw. Just a lot of finessing, but we'll pull this back out. I'm going to drill some pocket holes in this, and then we'll glue that thing in. We got to get this bathroom wrapped up because I've got to start building some kitchen cabinets. I got to get that part going so I can get the refrigerator in here and get going. Well, guys, I don't know if it's just me, but wow, when it's crappy outside, it is hard to get motivated to come out and work on the bus, even though I'm inside. I don't know what it is. Well, part of it is I know I had to cut some of these trim pieces, and my saw is outside, and I didn't want to melt in the rain. Not that I would have been out there that long, but it's just been really hard with this cold front that's moving through. It's not bad in the bus. It's probably in the high 60s in here right now, but it's it's 40 outside. We've got a lot of the trim up. We got to sand a little filler holes there for all the pin nails I got. We got our corner trim in. I'll tell you, I went to Home Depot to get a pin nailer because I had a stapler, but I wanted to nail these in. And they had that right there, a little pin nailer for 130. Now I was all set to go until I saw the end cap where it had the 3-pack of those plus that for 180. So yep, now we own it all. That's why Home Depot is such a dangerous store for me. Anyhow, let's get to getting on this thing. Alright guys, it's been a couple hours. Here's a little update. We got the rest of the trim cut. I'm not going to fasten it till we paint it. I'm trying to mark out where this pooper's going to go, because even here I'm still going to it's going to suck, because basically my pipe is like, it says 13 plus 2 inches for the wall thickness. So finally getting rid of that thing. So it's about right in here. That's the bathroom window there. So 15 inches off the wall puts me right in between these two pipes. Now I'm going to miss this brace because I'm basically 15 inches from that wire hole that goes down to the front of the pipe. And that's at about 18 inches, so I'm okay that way. But yep, we're gonna have to relocate these pipes. They look to be copper, and I'm pretty sure that is, I know it's heat, I just don't know if it's the driver's heat or the passenger's heat, so we're gonna have to sort that out. So that's where we're at. It's a new day. Already had a parts run, so the little things on an RV build are what kill you. You know, the big stuff you can kind of envision. Just trying to get all this trim cut and prepped and deciding, do I want to install it now? Do I want to paint? You know, I tend to overthink things. So anyhow, we've got the trim all cut. Mama's going to come in here and paint. Excuse me. We'll get the door hung today, or rehung. It's already been hung. I got to get this pooper installed. And as I showed you yesterday, I've got those hot water lines. And as with a lot of projects on an RV build, sometimes you just got to do it and hope for the best and figure out how to fix the next thing. Everything's a domino effect. Because, you know, I was going back and forth. So we're going to drill a hole for the L flushing thing here. And of course, it needs a 5-inch hole saw to get over that that lip. And even though it's a 3-inch pipe, I needed a 5-inch hole saw. So I had to get I've got probably 6 of these things, but it doesn't have the big, well, the bracing for such a big saw. So there's another 25 bucks down the pooper, literally. So anyhow, we're gonna get that drilled. We're gonna get this toilet installed, set in place. Get this thing painted. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get on the dang kitchen, because if I'm gonna move this bus to Texas, I have to have all the big stuff in it. The refrigerators, everything else is in the bay. The refrigerator and stove is the only thing left in the garage that needs to get in here, and that's gonna be a shit show, because I don't think either one of those will fit through the door, so it's got to come in through the window. Well, this window to be exact, because it's an emergency exit. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to raise up a 250-pound refrigerator 10 feet in the air without killing myself. But that'll be another video, and hell, you might even see it on the news if it goes badly enough. Alright, so here's what we got going. I basically traced the exterior of this circle here on the floor, and of course I had to scooch it back a little bit, but it just took the center of this circle, because that is the center of the drain pipe going down. So that's where my pilot hole is going to go, is right, X marks the spot, so to speak. So that's where we're going with that. And I know I'm going to be sitting on top of that copper piping, but I just got to get this done and sort out that copper piping later. I do know how to solder copper pipe. You know, maybe I can use some shark bites on that. I don't know. But, you know, again, I can't let that stop this. Yep, you guessed it. I hit the water line, and the sound of gushing water is filling the air. So, yep, as careful as I tried to be, I still managed to hit that damn pipe. Holy crap. There's what $100 in copper fittings looks like. Oh, thank goodness I had the 1.5-inch pipe. I had one of the elbows, but I wanted some tighter short radius. So anyhow, we're gonna weld this all up and get this thing fixed and get back to the pooper. Hey, we got more.
Mouse trouble? Then you need Mouser. Just turn the crank and snap the plank and boot the marble right down the chute. Now watch it roll and hit the pole and knock the ball in the rubber duck tub, which flips the man into the pan. The trap is set. Here comes the net.
All right, guys, I was about ready to tap out for the day, but a little persistence. So I've soldered household copper pipe plenty, you know, 3/4 inch, ½ inch. This is my first go around. This stuff is 1 1/4 or 1 3/8, depending on which side you're measuring. But never knew radiator fluid was flammable. But it makes sense. I mean, it's got glycol in it, which is flammable. So I knew I was going to need a heat shield for the welding. I wasn't prepared for the flame to come out of the pipe itself. And yeah, as you can see, it wasn't terrible, but yeah, it kind of caught me by surprise.
Houston, we have a problem.
So this is a lot worse than it looks. This camera was on time lapse, so this doesn't seem that bad. Boy, was yesterday an exciting day. I just watched the clip. That clip did not do that segment any justice. What took about 10 seconds to show was actually about a minute, because I had it on time lapse. Because when that fire started, I had to run all the way over here to grab the hose, bring it around, and it was catching on this table, the tire, you name it, and run all the way back there. So it looked really quick. But it wasn't. Let me tell you, that was 30 seconds of sheer terror. You know, luckily I didn't fart around. Once I saw that thing was catching the plastic on fire, I didn't mess around. I went and got the hose. But anyhow, we've got a better heat shield that I fabricated out of some heavy tin, and we're going to try and get that welded again without catching the bus on fire. We're taking a break from the radiator. I found a solution. It's not cheap, but I am not going to try and solder under that bus anymore, at least not for that pipe. I just can't get to the back side of it. So we're getting back on finishing this up. Mama's going to come in and paint still. I got to put the toilet valve in. We did get the flange mounted, and I got some fittings for it, but I don't like how it's working out, so that's going to be another trip to Home Depot. But anyhow, I found my blue PEX pipe. It's hiding in the garage, so we've got the blue lines getting connected. Over here for the toilet valve, I've just got a scrap piece of wood that I'm going to screw in between the joists there, because I wanted a fitting that is secure. I hate it when you go to turn a valve and it wiggles around. That just doesn't feel natural to me. So we're going to put this in below it, and we left that thing peeking up just a little bit so we can get a crimper on it. But anyhow, be right back. Well, guys, we finally got a decent day. Holy crap. I was ready for that rain. I mean, it was week solid. So we're going to get this radiator fixed. Although it's kind of comical, because as I started looking at this, I might not even need to fix this. But we're doing it. We're committed. I soldered this all up. We're going to put that in, and we're just going to Remember when I said it wouldn't be cheap? That blue hose is $4.20 per inch, and it comes in a 3-foot stick. So yeah, $150 for that blue hose. Put it in with some hoses, because I'm not soldering in there anymore. Not after that last fiasco. You can kind of see some of the damage. It just burnt that plastic cover. But no, we're just going to do this. So I'm going to get that on and we'll get back. Well, boys and girls, I think we got it. She's running. I don't see no leaks. We'll let it go a little more, but hopefully that's got it. Alright guys, I ran the bus for about 30 minutes, and this is hot. It's not stupid hot, but it's hot. Bus is at temperature. I'm not seeing no leaks. So I think we can get back to the bathroom and hopefully get started on the kitchen once that's done. Jennifer was finally able to come in and paint that bathroom because I just didn't want any part of it. All right, we're just finishing up this electrical here. Now, when there's 3 of these things, I like to build them outside of the box and get them as close as I can.
because otherwise I seem to struggle with all the extra wiring. So this is the only way I can really get these wires short. And believe me, this has taken a good half hour to build, because I'm not a full-blown electrician. I know how it works, so I'm not going to pay an electrician to come in here and do it. But we're going to get this stuffed in there, and hopefully it'll fit. All right, so this is 90% done, I'll call it.
And his name is John C.
I'm gonna do a whole video on the countertops, because we're gonna try this epoxy stuff that's supposed to be so easy a caveman can do it.
A caveman could do it. What? Oh no, not cool. I did.
So, but yeah, I got the water line plumbed. I got to find the little hose that goes to the pooper, but that's in. And I'm calling this thing a wrap, other than a couple trim pieces around the base, and like I say, what we've already talked about. So that's going to be that. All right, here we go. Starting to put in the strips for the kitchen, finally. I'm trying to locate the vertical struts that go down is my challenge here. I originally wanted this over a little bit more, but there was nothing to buy it on the bottom half. So it looks to be, I'll have to measure it, but I want to say they're 16 inches apart, maybe 20. I'll get the exact measurement, but there is a strut that goes down here. You can see my drills in it. We're gonna have to build some cabinets, because this layout, because I've shifted the sink over, I got to see how this is all going to lay out, and the only way to really know is to get these cabinets built and play some musical cabinetry to see what we like. And I'm going to have some help with that, so that's cool. But yep, let's build some cabinets.
That scared me.
It's okay, just go slow. Here you go, here's another one.
I think already, that was already
Good job, here you go. Do that one and I'll do this one. Come on, push it in. Okay, here you go. Get these screws in there and there. Let me get this.
In those holes?
Watch your fingers.
Oh my god.
Hello guys, it's a new day, and yesterday I had the epiphany on how to do these walls with the windows, and I wished I would have thought of this when I was doing the bathroom. In the bathroom, you saw we had these furring strips that went from top to bottom, and I kind of put them, just every 16 inches or so. But in the window area, they're kind of floppy because you can't screw it to a window. So here you can see I've added some of these 2x3s, and I'm going to screw them to these partial furring strips I've got here. So I'll just run a screw right in here to secure it. It wedges in there pretty nicely. In fact, I did have to take a flap attack and grind the ends down because of this window gasket. So, had to take about an 1/8 inch off the ends to get this to fit in here. But for an open window like this, I'm going to have just the two, and this is going to be my window area, because I still want to have a backsplash over the counters. So that's going to be the window. But I'll do the same thing on these covered windows, but I'll probably add 1 or 2 more of these 2x3s to go across to give me some strength for this thin walls that I'm using. I'm just hell-bent on using these thin walls. It would probably be stupid simple just to use sheets of plywood and go down it, but you're gonna lose space as you go, especially if you're just kind of building as you go. I mean, I had a general plan, but it's just changing constantly. So anyhow, This is how we're going to do this open window, and then I just cut this piece to make this flush like that, so then my paneling can attach to these little bit stronger pieces of wood. There you go. You got it. Up a little bit more.
We're gonna have to use.
There you go. Nice. And for these windows that are getting covered, man, I wish I would have thought of this in the bathroom. This was so much easier to do. It's the first time this curvature of the side of this bus hasn't been giving me anxiety. Just putting these are 6 inches pieces of plywood here, and then stuffing the two 1x3s behind it. You probably use 2x4s too, but you know, I think the 1x3 is the better way to go. And all you have to do is shave a little bit off the end because of this rubber gasket here. I don't want to push this window out, create a leak. And the 2x4s are just off of the window. I could probably put some of that, that pink, I just saw it, that insulation that I used up on these. I could probably put a layer of that in there. But these are double pane windows. You know, I don't know if that's going to make a difference or not. These windows, you know, when it's blazing hot outside, these windows still do get hot. So, you know, there is some thermal creep or whatever it's called that does happen. But you know, I'm just going to roll with what I got. That mini split's been doing pretty good even in the hot sun. So I think once we get the walls up, it'll be okay. But yeah, this was the way to go. And then, like I say, these here, you know, they're 8 feet long, and I wish they were a couple inches longer, but I was able to put a tech screw right into this here. So it's plenty sturdy. It is not going anywhere, and it's not really going to hold that much. It's just something to screw the transition piece down here, because it's going to angle and just catch right in there. I'll have to trim this up a little bit, but that's going to work out real well. Like I say, I've been struggling with it because I have to have a gap. This is where all my wiring's going, is right in this little gap here. So I can't. You could probably use a 2x4 if you were going to do something else with the wiring, but I've got plenty of 1x3, so that's what I'm using. So with that, guys, I think that's going to wrap up this video. It's not going to be that long, I don't think, but it's been a while since I've pumped something out. So we're going to get this sealed up and get going on this this kitchen here. We've been going on it, but I finally got the bathroom to what I would consider finished enough, because I got to get this kitchen going so I can get those 2 big appliances in here in case we have to move this thing. So anyhow, thanks for watching.